And today I joke about it, but it was not funny. I felt like my life was literally hanging on a thread. I didn't know whether my next few heartbeats were going to be my heartbeats. And I actually at some point in time believed that I would never come out alive. Why do I say that? Because I saw their faces, I remember their faces, I overheard their name, and in almost every country, kidnapping is a capital punishment, which means that if my family pays the money, it don't pay the money, they'll kill me, right? Even if my family pays the ransom money, they'll still have to kill me because I recognize them basically. So I really thought that I would probably die. And just to show you prove to you how dangerous I was, one day one guy showed me a gun. He said,
Hey, we have a very, very, very exciting session together with Dr. Patrick Liew. Dr. Patrick Liew is a personal mentor of mine, and today the topic is going to be about how he almost died, how he lost millions of dollars and discovered the Father's love. Today is a very, very, very special session, so we want to welcome you guys. Anyways, Dr. Patrick, thank you so much for joining us today. This will be I know this session will be blessed. This session will be anointed, and the people will actually take away so much, guys. I'm really excited. If you're excited, type in excited and smash some love buttons, my friends. Click on the love button, smash some love buttons, and type in excited if you're really truly excited for this session, because I'm telling you, this session is going to be a absolutely incredible session, right? Absolutely incredible. Deepika, I see you, Deepika Minda. Absolutely amazing. Handy is here as well. Handy Kusuma. Type in excited. Let me see your comments, my friends. Hope is excited. Who else is excited? Edlin. Hey, Edlin. My world changer is here. Jojo is excited. Oh, Rixim is here as well. Handy is here. Absolutely amazing. Okay, guys. So
I'm already feeling very excited because of your excitement. I can feel the excitement coming virtually right now. Amazing.
That's great. Anyway, so Dr. Patrick, so guys, for those of y'all who don't know Dr. Patrick, let me just give you a 411. Dr. Patrick is one of my own personal mentors, right? He's made his multi-millions through business, through the property market, through, he's lived a full life, right? He can very, very easily retire completely and not do anything. But every day, every single day, he chooses to serve. Every single day, choose to impact lives, and it's absolutely incredible, right? I learned about property investing because of this one man. I learned property investing because of Dr. Patrick, and my life was completely transformed because of this one man. And I want to share with you something. Like, the one thing that I learned from Dr. Patrick is about I learned the principle of giving from him. Right, I've seen him. I've watched his steps for a very, very long time, and I've seen how he made his millions. But he also gives. He's a huge giver. He always gives. He always, I've watched him raise money. Oh man, he's an absolute master in raising money. There's so many things I can talk about him, but he's somebody who I've watched, who I've really, model after. And I really, really look up to him in so many ways, guys, in so many ways. So today is my absolute privilege because he said yes. I was like, can you please share your story? Can you please just share about, how you actually grew up, all that stuff? And he said, yes, let's do it, Resh. And I'm very, very happy. So Dr. Patrick, thank you for coming on to the show. Really, really, thank you so much from all my heart.
After your kind introduction, I'm also dying to hear myself too. I'm waiting to hear myself too.
Fantastic. Okay, anyways, Dr. Patrick, let's get right down into it. So, people know you for being a successful business owner, right? You listed 3 companies, Singapore, in Australia, in the US, all these things, right? But, who were you? Bring us back. When you were a small boy, when you were, back in the day, when you were a small boy, how do you grow up? What kind of environment do you grow up in? Can you tell us about that?
I am very, very proud to tell all of you I grew up among the poorest of the poor. Can you imagine when I was growing up, I had no new book, no new toys, no new clothing. I don't even have a bed until I was 21 years old. So for the first 21 years of my life, I get to sleep underneath my grandmother's bed. So if you look at my face, you'll find that it's a bit flat because of oversleeping underneath the bed. But I'm very, very thankful for growing up in a poor family. I tell people I discovered something called DQ.
What is DQ?
What is DQ? Okay, everybody talk about IQ or EQ. To me, the most important critical success factor to success is to have DQ, and DQ stands for desperation quotient. So when you are born in a poor family, you have this compelling reason to break out of poverty. You have this compelling reason to want to do well. You have this compelling reason to want to give the best life to your loved ones, basically. So nobody can have a stronger compelling factor than somebody who have experienced pain and sorrow, suffering and misery during childhood days. But having said all that, I have a wonderful childhood, and I'm contented and happy in my childhood. But I knew at a point in time I really want to do well in my life.
So when you say you want to do well in your life, right, do you study really hard, or were you like an entrepreneur growing up? Like what was it? How do you actually like work really hard?
Can I tell you a secret?
Please,
Can you keep secret?
I will try my best.
Just between you and me, okay? Make sure the rest of the people are not listening in. Tell your administrator to shut them off. I'm actually born with a mental disorder.
Okay.
So all of you are now listening to somebody who is mentally not quite balanced. I didn't realize it. I was born with a learning disability. Can you imagine that? I have the three major learning disability. I think I at least have one, if not two of them. I definitely have ADHD. Of course, in those days they didn't have this term called ADHD. They didn't even have this term called ADS. ADS came very much later. And then when I was 21 to 24 years old, then they discovered there's this mental disorder. So ADS used to stand for Attention Deficiency Syndrome. ADS, not AIDS. AIDS is something else altogether. So I can be sitting in class, my body is there, but my brain will have gone somewhere else. I hope none of you out there, you're sitting in front of the computer or in front of your phone, your body is there and your brain has gone somewhere else. So from January to September, I don't even know what the teacher is talking about. Then in October, I will do everything I can to catch up my studies and then make sure I pass the final examination. And that's how I always tell people I kind of indirectly cheated the system. I got pushed up 1 year after another year. But it was very much later when I was about 24 years old that I asked myself, there must be something wrong. And sometimes in life we blame the school, blame the teachers, blame the principal, blame your friends. But when I think about it, I think I've got good school. I've got great teachers. They try very hard to help me. There must be something wrong with me. And that's when I discovered that maybe I have a learning disorder. Maybe there's something inside my brain that doesn't seem to connect. And that's how I went back to school to study, and I went back to school to do at least 3 nights of night classes, spend the rest of the time going to library, doing all my homework basically. And I found ways to cope. I would sit right in front, copy everything the teacher tell me. The teacher say, good evening class, I will copy good evening. Goodbye class, I'll copy goodbye. And ask a lot of questions, offer to help my teacher to carry his book, carry his bag to the class, engage him throughout. And then whatever he talk about, I always have all kinds of symbol to try and engage my brain. It's like, there are 3% inside me talking and quarreling with each other while I'm listening to a lecture. And so I found different ways to cope, and then started to learn how to be able to reflect, how to be able to think, how to be able to analyze, and started to pass examination. And then it became a lifelong habit. I'm still going back to classes every day, still learning every day because I started later than anybody else, and I hope I don't finish until the rest of my life, basically. So not only poverty is a blessing, having mental disorder is also a blessing. And when you have challenges, there's always something good in the challenge. There's always meaning, purpose, and significance in whatever situation you're in.
Wow, I love what you just said, right? Every challenge is a blessing if you take it as a blessing. I really, really love that. I think there's so much wisdom in that, right? Especially when you say that, when you look at your challenge as the propelling factor for you to really succeed, right?
That's right.
And
So I
how
always tell people this, at the end of the day, you need to know why you want to do what you do. If you know the why, you'll find out the how, right? It is our compelling purpose that will always determine our performance and our pursuits. Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I really, really love that. And I love how because of that you became a learner, right? You constantly learn. And hey, look, right? Can you just share like when you take your doctorate?
I actually took my doctorate degree when I was pretty old. when I
Mm.
don't need to study anymore, don't need any more paper qualification. I sold my public listed company in 2013, and then shortly before that, I decided to go pursue one of my dreams in life. All of us have to have dreams, right? If you have
Mm.
dreams, you are alive. If you have no more dream, you can't be alive anymore. You are only physically alive, physiologically alive. So my dream was to go back and finish my doctorate degree. And my dream was to tackle two biggest problems in the world. If I tell you, you fall off your chair. Would you like to know?
What's that? Please tell me.
I told myself I want to solve two of the biggest problems. The first problem is poverty, the one is war. But I
Mm.
think if I solve the poverty problem, everybody have enough resources, then they don't have a reason to go and fight the war. So I went back to University of Southern California. I went to do a doctorate degree, completed a doctorate degree dissertation on how to help people to break out of their poverty cycle, how to help them become rich and wealthy, basically. So this has become my lifelong dream, to carry out this mission to uplift, the financial well-being of humanity.
Fantastic. Absolutely amazing, right? So again, can you, if you don't mind sharing, to what age did you complete a doctorate?
Let me see. I finally graduated in 2015, which was 5 years ago. I'm 63 years old. So 63 minus 5, I was 57 years old when I completed my doctorate degree. I was among I think the whole university, I must be one of the oldest in class, basically. Although I look like 25, or I like to think I look like 25, but I might be one of the oldest students. I'm older than most of the professors anyway here.
Wow,
Yeah.
guys, if you all think that is inspiring, if you all think that's inspiring, can you please smash the like button? Smash the like button of Dr. Patrick, guys. If you all think that is inspiring. And I want to share with you something, it's very, very interesting because like there's this sticker sitting right in front of me and it says this. It says this. It says this. Hold on, let me just show you. Right. It says this. It says you are never too old to set another goal or dream a new dream. Do you see this, guys?
Yeah.
You are never too old to set another goal or dream a new dream. I absolutely love that. And guys, I want to remind you for somebody who's watching, I know somebody needs to listen to this. You are never too old to set another goal or dream a new dream. Take it from Dr. Patrick. All right.
Yeah, you're
57.
never too old to have a dream, but when you don't have a dream, you'll grow old. And I always say this, the goals keep you alive. Not only set goals, set impossible goals, set impossible dream. I'm sure you've heard of this song, right? To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go. This is my quest to follow the star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, and to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for the heavenly cause. And I know if I only be true to this glorious quest, then my heart lies peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better than this. That one man, one woman's caught and covered with scars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star, the unreachable star.
Oh man, I love it. Ah man, I love it. I love it. Guys, if y'all love it, I mean love it.
Okay.
Oh man, if you love it, type in love it. Look at Dr. Patrick Dio singing. Man, I could never hit the high notes like that. But absolutely amazing. Dream the impossible dream. Dream the impossible dream. Oh man, if y'all love it, type in love it and smash some love buttons, my friends. Smash some love buttons for Dr. Patrick Liew. Absolutely stunning. So, Dr. Patrick, I have a very, very important question for you. Fantastic. And then very important question. So I hear, you were in that poverty cycle, right? Like, you went through extreme, you went through poverty where you had to sleep under the bed, all that stuff, you went through that, right? And you had ADHD, you learned. But here's the question I have for you. Like, so what was your first venture to really get out of that poverty cycle? How did you get out of it? And what was your first breakthrough?
Okay, basically, I had three jobs when I was in school. In the morning, I go to school. And then in the afternoon, I ran a little stall at the Sungai Road Flea Market. So youngsters like you will never heard of it, but it was known as Thieves Market in those days. It was the biggest flea market, but there were ethical hawkers over there. So I had to fight, literally fight every day with peddlers to rent small little spaces, to pay the local gangsters. And in the evening, I would be working, in the Sarawak store, in the Pasar Malam, door to door selling, you name it. I've done almost everything that's legal and ethical. And as a result, I mix with adults. And so to me, this is the University of Hard Knock. So when I mix with adults, they told me, hey, Patrick, we all work for the landlord. You work very, very hard. You rent a space, you pay to the landlord. Meanwhile, all of us are working very, very hard. The landlord relax and enjoy life. So at a very young age, I told myself I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be an investor. I want to be a property landlord. And so at the very young age, I started to learn about property investment all on my own. That was like 40 over years ago. I focused on Little India town, which was a growing area because a lot of rich Indians were coming to Singapore. A lot of Indians have become rich. So I was focusing on the borders between Rochor Road, Kitchener Road, Serangoon Road, and Jalan Besar. And I learned how to find good properties, that where people are desperate to sell at a low price. And then I will bring it to well-to-do people. They pay me a finder's fee. And this is not little money, In today's term, it's like they pay me like $10,000-$20,000 to find them a good property. And then in the end, I learned how to own property even before I finished my study. So because of the fact that I was very, very poor, because of the fact that I have to do everything to earn pocket money, and because of this, I was forced to become an entrepreneur. I was forced to become an investor, and I learned different ways, to become successful. So all of you out there, you have everything that you need to become successful in your life. Basically, you have everything that's required to go find your life. Never look at somebody else and say, why didn't I have what they have? You have everything that's already needed to become very, very successful.
Wow, I love that. So very simply, if I heard you right, very simply you didn't have the resource, as in you didn't have the money, right? You didn't have the money, but you had the knowledge to go and find, good properties, and you got that finder's fee, you were like the middleman, and that's how you started making some money initially. Yeah.
That's right. That's
Wow,
right.
that's
Yeah, everybody say I need money to be rich about it. The reality is most people who became rich about it started off without money. You don't need money to own everything. What you need is a good idea. What you need, is a good strategy. What you need is a good rollout plan, a blueprint. And you need to have the persistence, the grit, resilience, the determination, the discipline to keep taking action. Even if you fail, and you keep improving, you'll reach the desired destination.
absolutely all about execution and taking the right actions consistently, right? I think that's so important. So you build up that momentum. And when was it that you created your first business? What was your first company that you actually started?
I actually started my business since very, very young. Although technically I didn't go to register a company to go and register a company. I worked in Sungai Road. I have a small little stall. And some of you may want to go to my Facebook. Just go to Dr. Patrick Liew and like my Facebook. Then you do a search, Dr. Patrick Liew, Sungai Road. And then you see, I always tell people everything you want to learn, everything you want to learn in MBA school, you can actually learn, I learned them through working in Sungai Road, basically. But every day is a new day. Every day you have to compete. Every day you got to provide good customer service. Let me give you an example. When they come and buy my jeans, and the interesting thing is that, like any flea market, there are hundreds of stores. Everybody sells the same jeans. Everybody sells the same T-shirt. So if you want to do well, you start to think creatively. Let me give you an example. I decided when I was very young, I need to have a brand so that I will differentiate myself from all the rest of the peddler. So I came up with a brand. And guess what's the name of my brand?
What's the name?
I came up with a name called Code Dior. I don't know where I got the name, but it sounds Code Dior, So all my jeans have got this brand called Code Dior. So the rest are all brand X, but mine has got brand. And for that, I could sell faster and sell at a higher price, basically. And so there was no changing room, right? So I created it my own changing room. I mean, most people don't have a changing room. You take it or leave it. You tell me what size you have. I give it to you. You find different ways to measure yourself. But I actually have a trade and changing room basically. Then I learned everything is about communication, right? So I discovered that there is not a single customer I don't love. I learned to love every customer. I learned to love every customer that put on my jeans. And sincerely, when they put on my jeans, I will tell them, when you put on my jeans, you make my jeans look really good. And I mean every word I say. And then when people are happy, you compliment them, you praise them sincerely, generously, they feel good, they buy from you basically. So I did very, very well. So these are little things that you go to MBA to learn, but actually you can learn in the process of living your life.
Wow, incredible, incredible. Dr. Patrick, I want to ask you. So, what was the exact? So there are so many ventures. Again, entrepreneur ADHD sometimes, right? So, what was the first venture that got you that first $1 million, for example, if you don't mind sharing?
Okay, basically, my friend and I actually went to negotiate, for a product, and we wanted to manufacture the product in Asia, and then we want to have the agency right in Asia. So can you imagine at that point in time we were employee, we still hang on to a job. We have no office, we have no company registered, but we had a big dream.
Mm,
And so most of the big company will write, correspond, and convince them. What we did was we actually flew, to talk to the Americans and Australians. And then because we flew there, they didn't fly to our country. They didn't know that we don't have a lot of resources. And we were so enthusiastic, so passionate. But we went there with a plan. We went there with actionable steps on what we can do to help them to make a name for their product, basically. And it was a safety product. So long story short, we went there, spent some time with them. We convinced them to let us become their not only their sole agent, to become their manufacturing center in Asia. And that was one of the first few businesses that we do officially. And we sold a lot of this product. We sold in more than 7 countries and made quite a lot of money, basically, until the product went out with its own its own lifespan, basically.
wow, wow, incredible, incredible.
So the
And
learning experience is that you don't have to say somebody's a bigger company, have more resources, more smarter than you. There's always a better way, to beat to beat your competition, basically. Same with
absolutely.
me when I first applied for a job. At that point in time, I knew that technology was the way to go, and I applied for every technology job. Nobody wanted to talk to me. So I finally discovered that a consultant was looking around for has a job opening for a multinational company. So I wrote to a consultant, but I knew I would be rejected because I don't have the background, the qualification, experience. I wrote directly to the boss of the multinational company. And I told him, you have to see me. You won't believe who you're seeing me. In fact, you don't have to open the door. You open the window. I will fly through your window to come and see you. I mean, he thought it was very, very funny, right? I mean, I was like, joking with him and telling him and showing him my enthusiasm, just like what you did, right? So he said, okay, I will give you 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, you cannot convince me, out you go. And when I went to see him, the first thing I did was I said, sir, I have written for you a business plan. I don't know anybody, when you go for a job interview, on the first appointment, the first meeting, submit a business plan. Most people submit CV, I submit a business plan. I said, I have done a research about a company. I don't have all the information, but I've done a business plan on what I think should be a strategy to improve your business. He was very, very impressed. But after talking to me, he said, but you don't have the background, the qualification, experience. So I finally, after trying to convince him that, I can do anything and everything for him, I'm willing to die for him, so to say. So finally, I look at him, I say, sir, why don't we do this? I don't have to be paid.
Wow.
I work for you for love. I don't know if you go for a job interview, tell the potential employer that he doesn't need a salary. He was like, what do you mean by you work for love? I said, I have a personal philosophy, and it's still a personal philosophy until today. I say, if I cannot help the company to make money, I don't deserve to be paid. If I don't have the value at the company, contribute to the company, help the company become better, if I take money from a company, I'm a scammer, no. I'm a fraud, I'm a con man, basically. He was put back aside. So, but anyway, he told me Even if you work for me for free, you don't have the background, the qualification experience. So
Mm.
anyway, cut the long story short, he created a job for me, and it was called apprentice. I think I'm probably the one and only apprentice I've ever heard in this part of the world. I don't know if anybody who started life as an apprentice. And I had a little corner space, but I worked very, very hard. And not only did I work very, very hard, I make friends with all my colleagues. I offer services to help. This is not my job. I said, do you have any work for me? Is there anything I can do for you? I organize picnic, I organize training classes, I organize gathering. I'm not the HR manager. I'm not the accountant. I organized so many things for them. Finally, when my boss was asked to go back to the head office, my big boss say I'm going to hire somebody to take over his job. And all my colleagues went to my boss, my big boss, and said, you don't have to hire anybody. And he said,
Mm.
why? He said, we found the manager for you. He said, who's the manager? He said, the corner there, there's the apprentice. I think he's the best manager. you
Wow.
know. So my point is very simply this: if you live your life as a plus factor, you
Mm.
live your life as a value add.
Mm.
you know the universe will bless you, God will bless you.
Mm.
Your people will recognize you because you have been asset to them, you have been a value add to them, and somehow it will be returned back to you basically.
Wow, 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 wow. Absolutely incredible. Guys, for whoever who's watching me, my audience who's watching me, this is the principles that I teach every day. This is what I teach you all every day, right? Always give first, be of value first. Guys, can all of you type in give first? Can all of you type in give first? Let me see the comments flow. Let me see the comments flow. And this is exactly how we bless, my friends, if we give first. Can all of you type in give first? Very, very, very important.
Can I
All
share
right.
you my personal philosophy?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, people talk about a win-win relationship, right?
Yep.
So a lot of people talk about win-win relationship, but very few people understand win-win relationship. They thought win-win relationship means first I win, then I win. That's not win-win, right? Or
Hmm.
first I win, then you can win, right? So some people say, okay, first you win, then I win, or you win more, I win less, or you win less, I win more. And to me, I've come to realize for 20 over years, I only live on one win, and that is as long as you win, I'm very happy. I don't have to win. And to me, have seeing people win is a joy, is a fulfillment, is a reward good enough, basically. And if you're willing to live on just one win relationship, God will bless you, the people will bless you, the people will find that they want to be a friend, they want to be a colleague, they want to be a joint venture partner, they want to invest in you and invest through you and invest together with you.
Wow. Dr. Patrick, I want to ask you a question. Very, very important question. So, I want to get to the story. I really want to get to the story. In 2003, you went through some really, really tough times, right? I know that year was very, very tough for you. Bring us through the entire story. Tell us what happened and tell us about the day that you nearly died.
You want to hear one story or two story? Yeah, should I talk about the day I died or the millions I lost?
Okay, let's talk about the millions that you lost first and then we'll get to the day that you nearly died.
Okay, very good. So in 2003, I'm sure all of you know there was a coronavirus breakout. That was the first time we heard of this term called coronavirus. It's called SARS, and the whole economy took a nosedive. The property market crashed. Now at that point, I lost everything. And not only I lost everything, I was carrying personal liability to the tune of millions and millions and millions of the dollars. Would you like to know how many millions of dollars I lost?
Please let me know. How many millions did you lose?
Do you think the audience would like to know? Maybe
I
they
don't know.
should type.
If you want to know, type in I want to know. Type in I want to know if you want to know. Let me see.
Okay.
Comments
You want
flood.
to know, you want to know because you want to do academic research or you just capo?
Right.
Okay. At one stage, I was carrying personal liability to the tune of $40 million, $40 million. Can you imagine? You have debt piled up this high. I felt like I dropped into a deep, dark, and bottomless pit. I actually felt like I'd gone to the pits of hell to come back and tell this story. So at that point in time, I lost everything. I have no more business. I cannot apply for a job. I don't know how to turn myself around. The whole environment was really very bad. And every night when I go back home, I slept like a little baby. I cried until I had no more tears, basically. So, and then something strange happened. At a point in time, I remember one night I was painted to a corner and I didn't know what to do. And so I went on my knees and I did something which I think every human will do. When you are really painted a corner, you do exactly what I did. I remember I went on my knees, I looked up to whoever was up there, and I said, please, please help me, please. I cannot take it anymore.
Mm.
And then I felt like somebody up there was talking to me. I thought I was hallucinating, I was going cuckoo. And the person up there was passing a very strange message in the form of two words. And the two words were touch lives. Whoever you meet, touch their life, bring out the best from them, help them to live a meaningful, exciting, and fulfilling life. And so I thought it was very funny, right? You treat human as human. You don't treat human as human, what do you treat human as? Then when I think back, in almost every workplace, every organization, we never quite treat human as human. We treat them as indicators, DGs, denominators, part of our business model, part of our strategic plan, basically. We even have a department called human, what department? Resources department, right? So we treat human as resources. So I said, okay, I will do that. I will bring out the best from every human, help them to live a meaningful, exciting, and fulfilling life. When I said that, I felt that somebody up there was telling me, hey, that's only part one, still got part two. Then I was thinking to myself, how many parts are there? I hope this is not like one of those K-pop, Korean serial drama or Taiwanese serial movie drama. I remember there was a Taiwanese serial movie called I Love, 897 chapters and it's still not ended basically. So I say, what do you want me to do? And then I felt him telling me, whenever you meet the next person, tell him three very simple words. And the three simple words are, I love you. When I heard that, I immediately look up. I said, I don't want to talk to you any more extension. Let me ask you this question. Is love important? Love
Absolutely.
very important. But the funniest thing is that we say love is very important, but it's very hard, especially for men, to say I love you. Women can say it very easily. For men to say I love you, you have to bring up all your energy level to do that. And I'm sure all of you can tell I'm a man by now, right? And it's not that I did not try. I went out every day, meeting people, going to office, telling everybody, I'm not a perfect leader. I want you to feel love. I want you to know that I love you. It was very, very difficult. But for some reason, when I did that, something changed in my whole business. I don't know how to explain this. It was like the atoms start to change, the molecules start to change. And then strangely enough, as I mentioned to you, I was literally seeing my business crumbling, but people were very excited about coming to work, staying back in their work, and then I've got people who come in and say, I love your culture. I want to give you some business and give me $20,000 to $30,000 net profit worth of business every month. And then out of the 10 best-selling projects that year, 6 of them were done by my company, basically. And then a lot of people who left my company thought that the company would die, right? When they look back, the company didn't die. And then one by one, they came back from north, south, east, and west. And slowly my company turned around, basically. And within 3 years, I was able, to turn around and recover all my debts. And then 4 years later, I was able to list arguably the first real estate company to be listed in the stock exchange in my industry, basically. So out of this experience, I learned 4 very powerful lessons. One is called hardware. Why do you do what you do? Why are you in business? Why are you in investment? Why do you make money? Second one is called hardware. Everything that you do has got system, structure, processes, and procedure. So the best way to love your people is to run the best company, is to organize the best team, is to put together the best model and system for your people. The third lesson I learned is called software. Ultimately, it is about people. It is the people in your organization that make your organization work. It is the people in your investment that make your investment work, basically. So do you love people and use things, or do you love things, use people? I repeat again, do you love people, use things, or do you love things, use people? And then the last lesson I learned is called soulware. I believe every human has a soul. And deep in our heart, we know we have a soul. What is your higher calling? What's the worthiest cause you can serve? So that you can fulfill, your calling as a human. You can fulfill what God wants you to do, to make a difference to the people and the environment around you, basically. So has the world become better because of you after meeting you than before meeting you, basically? So we all have a soul, and by recognizing a soul, and then fulfilling what is the deepest need of our soul to serve the highest calling, to serve the worthiest cause, we live at the highest plane of life.
Dr. Patrick, I just want to share with you something.
Sure.
It's key. You went from minus 40 million and God gave you three words, and three words were I love you, right? And I want to share with you something. Honestly speaking, maybe if I heard this 1 year ago, I would think that you are crazy. Right? I would think like, are you talking nonsense? Like, how do you get out of 40 million with I love you? But today I understand. Today I understand this value, right? Today, as in, man, there's so many things speaking to me right now. But really, man, my entire company, what I'm building right now is based on love, is based on giving, is based on, hey, we are one human race, let's just love one another. And because of that, I've seen my business explode. I've seen, amazing things happen. So when you say that I love you got you from minus 40 to completely clearing off and listing your company, I I truly believe you. It's the most powerful value in the world. And wow, it's just so incredible to hear this testimony. Like, it is speaking to my soul right now. Right. So guys, I'm telling you, man. Guys, if you see me like looking down, it's because I'm taking notes, right? As we're actually doing this, like for me, I'm a learner myself. Like I take notes, I'm writing down notes as much as possible. I'm writing down notes, I'm writing down notes. Guys, how many of you are loving this session? If you're loving this sessions, please smash the love button and let me know, right? Let me know in the comment section. Please type in love it, right? Type in love it and smash the love button. Oh man, this is so absolutely amazing.
If you're MBA graduate, you probably say, what is your competitive advantage? And most of the time, we think of competitive advantage as tangible competitive advantage. What is your product? What is your service? What's your organization? All those things are important, right? But everything can be copied. Everything can be re-engineered. But it is the intangible that really makes a world of difference. And to me, love is one of those intangible that should be incorporated in everything we do, not only in terms of our workplace, but in terms of our life. And the reason is because we're all created, and we're all created by God, and God is a God of love. And if He's a God of love and you don't live a life of love, then something is not connected. You're not living your life in the way you have been designed to live. You're not running your business the way you should be running your business, because ultimately, love is one of the most powerful force, in life and your workplace, basically. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Can I ask you currently right now in your current business, right? In Jack's Ventures, like how do you incorporate this in your company culture? How do you incorporate, like, what do you all do? Is there a common practice or something along those lines if you can share?
We call these the 6 C's, basically. We say, first of all, we love our own colleagues.
Okay.
So we have rotating happiness team to make sure that all our colleagues are happy, they are well, and then the second C is our customers. We say we want to love our customers, and we want to do everything we can to make sure that they feel love. And so
Okay.
we do everything we can to help our customers when the tire hit the road. We want to make sure the customer know that we may not have the best company, the best product, the best services, but one thing you can be sure, we'll stick by you, we'll walk with you and walk behind you, basically. The third C is called the community. So many years ago, we walked around a community, we realized there were a lot of elderly people and they're all very lonely. So we
Yeah.
started activity looking after elderly, has been growing and growing. So today we reach out to 3,500 elderly, and then we look at country, the fourth C.
Mm.
And then we look at what can we do for country, and we say maybe the best thing we can do is to be able to groom the next generation of leaders. So today we run a charity. We train 20,000 students free of charge. Of course, as a business grow, we were also looking at how we can develop a bigger impact using love. And then we look at other countries. So we started to do all kinds of crisis relief effort for victims of natural crisis. And in recent time, there are a lot of natural crisis. Then we
Yeah.
discovered many years ago, actually we try to help those people overseas, but those people overseas are in Singapore. So today we run a center in Little India, where we have all these wonderful workers that come from India, from Pakistan, from Sri Lanka, and we basically run a center where they come in here, come into our center. Basically, we do everything we can to help them with their physical, mental, social, emotional, psychological, vocational, educational needs. And then so then finally we realized the best thing we can do is become a catalyst. So the first C is your colleague and your customers, your community, your country, other countries. But ultimately, it's be a catalyst basically.
Okay.
So today when I do training, I always tell them, if you get any result, you have to donate 10% of your resources to charity. 10% of resources, in terms of your thoughts,
Mm.
your time, your treasures, including your money to a charity basically. So I realized I cannot impact the world, but if I can touch one more life this evening, for example, and that one more life decide to do, more good, help some poor, needy, and disadvantaged, I think we can create a much bigger, tsunami of positive impact around the world.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. And I want to just share that, that's exactly what, my company does every single day. That's what I preach to my people every single day. And again, guys, I want to share with you something. If you've been following me, guys, I want to share with you something. I'm a culmination of the teachers. I'm a culmination of my mentors and what they've inculcated in me over the years, right? I've learned from Dr. Patrick from many, many years ago, right? Like I think probably about 7, 8 years ago, I first got to know Dr. Patrick, and all these things have got ingrained in my mind. Yeah, you must understand, right? So again, Dr. Patrick, thank you so much because hey, guess what? My life was impacted because of you, and as a result, I think many people are getting impacted as well. Right, very, very important. So let's get into the story. There was one day that you were kidnapped. Tell us about the day that you were kidnapped.
Okay, very good. I don't know how many of you were kidnapped before. I know some people say I've never been kidnapped, but I surely have some people I love. I love for that they can be kidnapped, like my boss or my enemy or something like that. But I was kidnapped many years ago by strange people in a strange country, locked him in a strange house for many, many days, many, many, many nights. And today I joke about it, but it was not funny. I felt like my life was literally hanging on a thread. I didn't know whether my next few heartbeats were going to be my heartbeats. And I actually, at some point in time, believed that I would never come out alive. Why do I say that? Because I saw their faces. I remember their faces. I overheard their name. And in most every country, kidnapping is a capital punishment, which means that if my family pays the money, it don't pay the money, they'll kill me, right? Even if my family pays the ransom money, they'll still have to kill me because I recognize them basically. So I really thought that I would probably die. And just to show you prove to you how dangerous I was, one day one guy showed me a gun. He said, "Do you know what this is?" What this is? I said, "I know it's a gun." And he said, "You'll be wondering why I have a gun." He said, "By the way, he gave me a business card." Can you imagine a kidnapper has a business card? You know? And he said, "I happen to be a police officer in the training academy here. My job is to train policemen to maintain law and order in this country." So can you imagine I was actually kidnapped by a group of policemen. Another day, another guy showed me a rifle. He said, "Do you know what this is?" I said, "Of course I do. This is called the AR-15. This is the grandfather of M16S1 that we use in Singapore." I say they function the same way. You can blindfold me, I can strip it, reassemble it again. And if you give me some of your bullets, I can teach you how to shoot. I was hoping that the soldier will give me his rifle and bullets. I can shoot my way out, right? Unfortunately, they're smarter than that. And so I was kidnapped by a consortium comprising of policemen, soldiers, and business people. And they run this like a business. And at some point in time, I became I'm a very friendly person. I actually became very friendly with them. I actually told them, "Hey, why don't you send me some shares in your company? I'm a consultant. I can teach how to improve your business model. And then I can introduce some good customer to you, like Resh. My good friend Resh is very rich. You should kidnap him, Don't be, And sorry, I'm only joking, right? So every night they push me to a room. And then a short while later, I will hear a click. They'll lock the door from outside. And then a short while later, they switch off the lights. So darkness was my companion for many, many, many nights. A lot of people ask me a lot of interesting questions after my kidnapping experience. They say, Patrick, did you come out of the kidnapping experience alive? Sometimes I have to touch myself, just to prove that I'm still alive. And by the way, Resh, I just want to guarantee you this, and to all the audience out there, I actually came out alive. Okay, so this
That's
is not like
good to know. Good to know.
yeah,
Thank
good.
God.
Thanks, Resh. Resh, thanks. So another question they always ask me, Patrick, were you able to sleep? To me, that's a very funny question, right? Are you able to sleep when you were being kidnapped? I wish I can tell you you can sleep, but I want to tell you this: when I lie there, I couldn't sleep, and not only I couldn't sleep, I was watching the greatest movie of my life. What do you think is the greatest movie of your life, Resh?
The greatest movie of your life. What's the greatest movie of your life? As in life in itself, like every day what
No,
happens.
uh,
Yeah,
the greatest movie of your life is the movie of your life. So I
exactly.
actually saw my yeah. So I actually saw myself from the day I was born. I saw myself back in school, graduating from school, going to workplace, and then until the day I was kidnapped. I saw faces crossing my path. I saw faces of people that I thought I'd forgotten. They appeared in my mind all over again, in my movie all over again, including the people who have just crossed my path for a split second. I saw their faces all over again.
Mm.
And so another question people always ask me is, say, Patrick, did you have any regrets at all? I wish I could tell you, life is so short. This is not a dress rehearsal. There's no way you can rewind back the clock. Why have regrets, right? I wish I can sing like some people. I'm sure you've heard of this song, right? Regrets, I have a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and saw it through without exemption. I wish I could tell you we all should have no regrets,
Mm.
but I have two major regrets.
What's that?
Let me quickly share with you my second biggest regret. My second biggest regret was when I saw all the faces of people uh, appearing in the movie of my life, the greatest movie of my life. And I asked myself this question strangely. I say, what if, in a split second, I cross the imaginary line between life and death and I'm no more? What will they say about me?
Mm.
How will they remember me?
Mm.
Sometimes when we go through life, we pursue a lot of things religiously and relentlessly.
Mm.
But somewhere towards the end of our life, or when we come face to face with death, you realize that a lot of the things that we thought are really important, they are no longer important. I call this the five P's, right? All our life we chase for profit, we chase for power, we chase for position, we chase for possession, we chase for pleasure, we chase for privileges, we chase for prestige, right? I tell you about 5P, right? Given you 7P, yeah. So we chase for profit, we chase for power, we chase for position, we chase for possession, we chase for pleasure, we chase for privileges, we chase for prestige.
Mm.
But when you come face to face with that, when you come face to face with that at the end of your life, I don't think they really matter. I don't know if anybody on their dying bed,
Mm.
you know, and then they scream, oh, I wish I've got bigger house. I wish I've got bigger car. I wish I've got bigger bank accounts. I wish I've got bigger wife. I don't think so. I think at the end of life, when we all have a chance to watch the greatest movie of our life, we ask ourselves, have we made a difference to the people and the environment around us? Have people become better as a result of meeting you,
Mm.
coming in touch with you in your life than before meeting you?
Wow.
And so that became really something I cannot face myself.
No, I wanna share something. I wanna
Yeah.
share something with you. I sleep with him every day.
Wow,
Listen,
my hero.
your hero. And
Yes, sir.
guys, I want to share with you something. This actually says something. I really love this. And basically, the quote says this: to be successful in a profession or in business, to become wealthy cannot be compared to making the lives of a fellow man better. This can bring immense satisfaction. Lee Kuan Yew said this. Mr. Lee Kuan Yew said this. How different would this world be had I not been here?
That's right. So that's a very very powerful philosophy. Finally, what's your purpose for living? Why are you here? How have you made a difference to the people and the environment around you? So that was my second biggest regret.
Wow. Wow.
I,
Crazy. Now that we are talking about, now they're talking about,
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for you to ask me what's my biggest regret.
what's your biggest regret? Please tell me.
Sorry, I interrupted you, and I'm just a storyteller trying to get
No,
you
no, no.
excited
No,
to read.
I want to ask you your biggest regret. And so I also want to ask you about your thoughts on Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. Like, that just came out randomly as well.
Yeah. I think he's a great man. I think without Lee Kuan Yew, Singapore would not be what we are today, basically. And the good thing is that as much as he's a very strong leader, very autocratic in many sense of the word, but finally deep in his heart, he served a worthier cause and higher calling, and that makes a world of difference to our country, to our people, basically, and that makes Singapore what we are today, a lovable and livable country. So for that, I think we should always be grateful and thankful to him. And on today's Father's Day, I actually I wrote a posting, to thank our forefathers, and we should always be grateful to our forefathers because they make a difference to our country. They make a difference to our lives, basically.
Absolutely. Guys, again, happy Father's Day to all the fathers in the house. Guys, can we please smash some love for the fathers? All right. So if you're a father in the room, happy Father's Day to you. If you're not, just smash some love for the fathers. And Dr. Patrick, you have a very beautiful daughter. And happy Father's Day to you as well. Right? Happy Father's Day to you.
Everybody, I've not only got a beautiful daughter, I've got a humorous daughter. Can I tell you two jokes that my daughter told me? One of them is sitting beside me.
Sure.
My daughter told me that on Father's Day I must say thank you to them.
Well, why is that?
They say if not because of them, I don't have a chance to celebrate Father's Day.
Wow. So smart, huh? So smart.
Yeah. And they also told me on Father's Day they say thank you to the mother. I
Yeah.
said, why do you say thank you to your mother? This is Father's Day. He said, Daddy, don't you know? It is because of our mother, who gave you the honor and the pleasure to be a father. That's why you can be a father. So
Wow.
I have to thank my daughters. I have to thank my wife, for Father's Day. So in our family, we say today is Father's Day. After today, every other day is Mother's Day.
Wow. Absolutely. Anyways, Dr. Patrick, I think a lot of them are asking. So, what is your biggest regret?
I'm dying to. I was dying for you to ask, and I was just have you forgotten to ask? My biggest regret was I imagined that my next few breaths were going to be my last few breaths.
Mm.
I actually believed that I would never get out of the place alive. I saw death face to face. At a point in time, I imagined myself crossing the imaginary line between life and death. And I know that my life will not just disappear into thin air. I imagine myself crossing the imaginary line and coming face to face with this wonderful, loving, absolutely awesome being, God. And I could imagine God putting his arms wide open, and literally running towards me and welcoming me to the forever ever playground.
Mm.
Literally having beaming smile and say, Patrick, pain and sorrow is over. Welcome to the wonderful, playground for the rest of your life. At the point in time, I just felt that maybe I should be happy, but I didn't feel happiness. I felt a sense of regret and remorse.
Mm,
And the reason I felt that way was somehow I felt like I have to give him an account of my life.
mm,
I have to tell him what did I do with the life that he has created for me, that he has given to me.
mm,
Because ultimately, it is not just our earthly father that made us, that gave life to us. It is our heavenly father, it is our maker, our creator that ultimately gave us the life. And
mm,
I felt like he's going to ask me, I'm your maker. I have this wonderful dream for you. I have this wonderful plan for you. But being a loving father, I cannot force you to do what I want you to do. I cannot force you like a robot, press few button and you move. And I feel like he wanted to know I made you. I have this wonderful dream for you, this wonderful plan. Why didn't you allow me to walk the journey of life with you?
mm,
I knew what was best for you. I knew how you could have lived your best life. And I knew how you could fulfill the highest potential
mm,
to achieve the purpose they've created for you, to be able to achieve the cause they've designed specially just for you.
mm,
Why didn't you give me the chance to help you to navigate through the journey of life with you?
mm,
And that to me was my greatest regret.
mm,
And that's the reason why, when I was finally released, from my kidnapping experience, I felt like I've not only come face to face with death, I felt like I've died. And I
mm,
think all of us need to die. And like the Bible say, we all need to be reborn again. And deep in our heart, all of us know that we all need a new beginning. We
mm,
need a new me, a new you. We all need to be reborn. And to me, it was an experience where I felt like being reborn again.
mm,
And that rebirth helped me to realize I have a soul. And
mm,
the best way to treat my soul, the best way to manage my life on planet Earth is to live the life that God wants me to live.
mm,
And the best thing I can do with the life that He has given me
mm,
is to allow Him to love me,
mm,
allow Him to guide me, allow Him to navigate me so that I will walk the right path. And in doing so, I will be able to fulfill my highest potential. I will be able to achieve my highest calling. I will be able to fulfill the highest cause that is given to me.
wow. Wow. Dr. Patrick, I share with something. This conversation that we're having, I hope people are being blessed by this. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm being blessed by this because I feel this message is meant for me. I didn't know how this is gonna go, but I feel like really truly it's meant for me. Like in everything that I'm doing right now, I resonate with your words so much, right? Like living the life that God has meant for me, so I can live in my full potential. Oh man, it speaks to my soul so deeply. I'm telling you, it's guys. How many of you are finding that this is powerful, right? If you are finding that this is powerful stuff, if you're finding that it's powerful, type in powerful, my friends. Type in powerful. Let Dr. Patrick know as well. He can see your comments, he can see everything. I feel so empowered. I feel so. Oh man, it's speaking to me.
I just felt like I need to tell everybody out there. I feel like God is giving me a message to tell everybody out there. You have lived your life for many years as a human. You have done everything possible as a human. And think about it. You depend on your human power. which means you achieve what a human can do. And you and I know that human power is always limited, always restricted, always finite. And today I feel like, why don't you, like they say, think out the box, disrupt yourself, be radicalized. All these are the words we use, in what we call the new economy, right? Why don't, instead of depending on your human power, there's restricted, limited, there's finite. Why don't you depend on God's power? And when you depend on God's power, it's infinite, it's impossible. There is no limit, or it's limitless to what you can do with your life if you allow God to take full control of your life.
Limitless. It's limitless. It's truly limitless. Like, it's
Mm.
so much bigger than what you can ever do by your own effort, by your own strength, by your own mind. There's so much more, right? It's like it's magnified to the infinite, right? Oh man, I love it. I love it. That's another
I
message.
Yeah. I don't know whether Resh, you mind me reading a passage from a Bible, because
Please
I
do.
just remember that something that I think would, I don't know, I mean, I may be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I feel like out there, a lot of you out there, you're struggling. You're struggling because of the pandemic. You're struggling because you don't know what the future holds. You don't even know when you sleep tonight what's going to happen when you wake up tomorrow. I think many of you are seriously struggling with your job, with your career, with your organization, with your business, with your family life. You don't really know where the journey of life will take you.
Mm.
I don't know whether if some of you here are struggling like that. Maybe if you can just indicate to me and say, yes, Patrick, I'm one of those people you're talking about, struggling my own little way. Maybe you just type the word yes, then I'd like to share with you what I think is a really, really powerful message for you to hear, this evening. Yeah.
Yes, if that's you typing yes, and hopefully something will bless you, something will come forth to really, really assist you and help you and just be a blessing to you, man.
There's nothing to be shy about, I mean, we're all adults, we're all among friends here. This is a community of friends. If you are struggling in many ways, big ways, small ways, tangible way, intangible ways, just type the word yes, and I want to read to you a really very powerful message here.
I think there's a lot of people who are typing yes, and maybe yes, maybe we can share that message.
Okay, maybe I want to read to you a very, very important message. Give me some time. This is found in Psalms 32, a beautiful, beautiful book of poems. And this was written purportedly by one of the most famous kings in history called King David. And archaeologists have dug up all kinds of remains and proven that there is such a king. And we all know historically, this king, like any kings in the world, had many, many struggles. In fact, when he was going through this, he was going through a major, major crisis in his life. And then he wrote this little poem. He said, therefore, let all those who are faithful pray to God while you may be found. In the past, we always say, how can there be a God? I cannot see the God. I want to live my life. I want to do what I want to do. But the strangest thing it is when you are in your darkest hour and you have tried every whichever way.
Mm.
And maybe for some of you like me, whichever way you turn, you feel like the walls are crashing down on you. And that's when, like me, you look up. And then you know what? God can be found. And you know what? He has always been watching over you
Mm.
throughout your life. Even before you were born in your mother's womb, He was there watching you. But He's a gentleman God. He's not going to intrude in your life, force you to do what you want to do. He
Mm.
wants to be your friend and to be invited.
Mm.
And then He says, surely the rising of the mighty waters will not reach them. So
Mm.
imagine, I mean, this is a poet, right? And so poet have to write in a pictorial form, right? And so imagine when you are struggling, and I think we all know this, those of us who have gone through struggles. Struggles does not come, in one, in a linear fashion. It comes like torrents, it comes like waves, it comes like a flood. You feel like, wow, how come like that? Wow, got this problem, that problem, this problem, that problem. You feel like the flood waters is reaching your chin, at your mouth, and then reaching your nose, right? And so the assurance the poet says that even when you are struggling, you can find God. And then even when you feel like your problem comes in waves, it will never reach you because God is there. And he went on to say, God is my hiding place. So I want you to say this to yourself. Say it silently or articulately, it doesn't matter. Tell yourself, God is my hiding place. He can be found. And because he can be found, he will never let any of the challenges reach beyond your nose. And then he will be your hiding place. And there's no other places to go to. If there are no humans that can be reached, if no humans can give you the solace and the solution that you need, just remember this: God will be your hiding place. And then the poet goes on to say this: He will protect you from trouble. In a crisis, in a pandemic, the government can have stimulus package. Why? Because the government owe it to us. Their job is to improve our quality of life. Their job is to improve our quality of life. If humans can think like this, where did this rationale come from? It came because as human, we are a reflection of God. And humans say, I will try to help you. God said this: I have a better stimulus package. I will protect you. And then the last part of this verse is very shocking. So when you look for God, God can be found, right? And then he will make sure the troubles will not drown you, right? He will make sure that he's your hiding place. Go nowhere turn to, go back to God. He will protect you, right? And then the next verse says this beautifully. He said he will surround you with songs of deliverance. You know what it means, right? Can you imagine that you're in trouble, you're struggling. And then God then says, come to me, don't worry. I will make sure that you will be drawn with trouble. I will be a hiding place. I will protect you. And then guess what? He will put you into a club. So you can imagine a club and all of us are singing, all of us are having fun, all of us are eating, dining, whining, and having a ball all the time. When I first read this, I said, hey, hello, you cuckoo or what? I'm really struggling, I'm really in trouble, What, you put me in a party and have fun now? Doesn't there's a contradiction of them. There's a disconnect in my small little brain. So I never quite understood it until one day I saw a painting, and the title of the painting is called Peace, Peace. So we think that peace means got no trouble, but to this artist, he drew what I think is the best manifestation or representation of peace. So imagine now there's a cliff, and then waves were banging onto a cliff, like all the trouble we know is like crashing on us, wave after wave after wave. And then in the middle of the cliff, he drew a cave. And then in the cave, there was a warm fire on a cold night. Cold but warm. The feeling is what we are Singapore call shock. Then there were beautiful food there. And Resh and I were sitting there with all of you in this Facebook Live community. We are having fun. We're telling jokes. We're sharing story. We're having a ball of a time. And to the artist, this is a picture of peace. What it means is that if you're struggling out there, God is waiting for you to invite Him. And when you invite Him, it does not mean that you have no more trouble. It means that in the midst of all the trouble, there'll be a warm fire that warm you on a cold, wintry night. And there will be joy that cannot be described in human language. There will be peace that surpasses all our understanding,
Mm.
and there will be love among all of us, which is what we have been thinking about the whole evening. Ultimately, it's just not love between one human to another human. Where did this love come from? It came from the original source of love. And the original source of love is God, our Heavenly Father, who
Mm.
created us, who gave us the love, and is now waiting to give us not just our love, not just His love, His joy, and His peace.
Mm. Wow, that is so incredible. That's so incredible. You know, I'm just looking down because I'm reading from the scripture itself, right? Just reading and just meditating on it. Oh, it's absolutely amazing. It's so beautiful, huh?
Yep.
Absolutely beautiful. Guys, how many of you are loving this and you all have felt blessed by this? If you are feeling blessed by the sharing, type in blessed. If you're feeling blessed by the sharing, type in blessed, my friends. Type in blessed. And you know, Dr. Patrick, I just feel led right now for some reason. I just feel led. You know, I want. Would it be okay if you pray for like love to enter their hearts, right? For them to really, really feel this love, this almighty heavenly love to enter their hearts, so that they might find peace in the toughest of times, so that they might find rest in the Almighty God, right? Dr. Patrick, if you would be so kind to pray for these people so that they will be
As
blessed.
as I mentioned to you just now, God is a gentleman God. He will never force us. He will never push his way in. He will never intrude unless you really want to invite him. So I want to ask everybody out there, do you want love? Do you want joy? You want fulfillment that only God, our Creator, our Maker, can give us. If you truly want the love, the joy, and the fulfillment, then I want to pray for you. I want to pray and ask God to come into your life and give you the love, the joy, and the peace that you so deserve. Type in the word yes, and I know, yes, you are ready to invite him because he's not going to force his way. He's like standing outside the door, right? If he bang the door down, I think you can call the police, right? You
Mm.
scream at him, you probably shoot him with a gun. He's not going to unlock the door. Of course, he can do that. Then he become an intruder. Then he's not a welcome guest. I think he will feel very odd. But if you say yes, I'm ready to have that love, that joy, the fulfillment. I'm ready to open the door and allow God to come into my life. Just type in the word yes. Unfortunately, my chat room is, I don't know why I cannot see anything on my chat at this point in time. So I have to depend on you, Resh.
There's a lot of yes coming through. There's a lot of yeses coming through, and yeah.
Okay, why don't we do this? Let's go to God now and let's close our eyes, bow our heads, and our hearts, and then let's go to God and ask and thank God because He's given us life. Let's say sorry to Him because we've done many things that are wrong. And let's tell him, I have done wrong. Come into my life, correct me. I'm ready to be corrected completely, fully, 100%. And then let's ask God, to come into our life, become our architect, become our engineer, become our navigator, plan our life for us, lead our life for us, organize our life for us, control our life for us from this day forth, and then invite Him to bless us and immerse us and saturate us with the love, joy, and peace. So let's close our eyes, let's bow our heads and hearts, and then let's go to God and ask and invite Him into our life. Father, we thank you for this wonderful life that you've given to us. Thank you because you love us even when we were in our mother's womb. Thank you because all these years, even though I may not know it, you have been watching every second, every minute of our life, every single step of our life, you were there. And I want to say sorry to you. I say sorry to you because I've done so many things that I'm not proud of. I've done so many things that I've regretted and I feel with remorse. And I want to ask you to forgive me. Forgive me for all the wrongdoings. I don't want to continue to do any more wrong. And so today, I want to open my heart, my mind, and my spirit to invite you into my life. Be the CEO of my life. Be the architect of my life. Be the navigator of my life. Be the driver of my life. Because I know if I continue to depend on myself, I only get what a human can do. But because when I ask you to take charge of my life, I get it. I can depend on you because you've got infinite power. And because you are my maker, you are my creator, you have infinite power, therefore I know you can give me the love, the joy, and the peace that only you can give. And going forward, Father, I know only you can help me to tap my fullest potential. Only you can help me to grow out and fulfill the purpose that you want me to fulfill. Only you can help me to achieve the highest and worthiest cause. Only you can help me to make full use of my life. Thank you because you died for me. And in your death, you carry all my doing. In your death, and in carrying my wrongdoing, you have forgiven me. And I will always remember again and again, forever and ever, you have forgiven me. And you want to be the boss of my life. You want to give me the Lord, the joy, the love, the peace that only you can give. Because we pray all this in the mighty name of our Lord Jesus. And everybody say amen. And when you say amen, you agree to a prayer. And everybody say amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. Absolutely powerful.
Welcome to this wonderful community. This is bigger than the Resh community, bigger than Patrick Liew's community. This is a heavenly community, and this is a community that doesn't play you out, doesn't unsubscribe you. This is a community that go on forever and ever. Welcome to this wonderful community. Welcome to your maker's dream, your creator's vision. Welcome to allowing God to take full control of your life.
Guys, I don't know about you, but this today's message spoke to me so much. Dr. Patrick, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for sharing your heart out, your story. There's still so much more, Dr. Patrick. Your story is so much. I know there's so many more stories I want to dig out of you, but we've been going on and on and on and on. Can you please come on a second time, maybe?
Sorry, what was the question again?
I said, can you please come on again next time? I have got so much things to ask you.
It's always a pleasure and honor to come on your show and to share. And to me, it is a great privilege and honor for me to share. And some of you may or may know, every time when I speak, every time I share, I always tell myself, if I share with you what I know, you also get, finite resources. But I always tell myself, I'm just a messenger, I'm just a conduit, and somebody up there has the most powerful, the best message. I allow him to use me to deliver this message to all of you. And I really feel deep in my heart because Resh told me, Patrick, this is a free for all, no system, no method, no agenda. And I really feel that what we have done today is a message that I feel that God wants me to deliver to all of you.
Guys, how many of you would love to have Patrick come on second time? If you love to come on second time, type in number 2. Type in number 2 if you love to have him come on again in the future. Guys, he has so much to share, right? He can share about how he bought over his company for $1. Oh yeah, so many things lah. I tell you, seriously. He has a wealth of knowledge on property. He has so much to share about how God has blessed his business, how he is so involved in the nation's politics, about our leaders, about leadership. Oh man, he's a wealth of knowledge. You sit down with him, you gain so much wisdom, my friends. This is the reason why I want to hang around good people, because when you hang around great people, that's how you become better every day. See, the numbers are flowing through. Everybody's saying number 2, number 2, number 2, number 2. People are loving this session. Ah, man, absolutely amazing. Anyways, again, Dr. Patrick, thank you for your time. My people, thank you. The entire community, thanks you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your time. Guys, have a good night. Have a blessed night. Tomorrow is Monday. Make this next week a very, very good week. And I just want to share one thing. May God's goodness chase you down. That's my mother. My mother is saying, thank you, Dr. Patrick. That's my mother. That's my mother. All right. So, anyways, thank you, Dr. Patrick. God bless. See you guys. Bye bye.
Good night.